kids' VITs. What supplements my kids should be taking? Firstly, focus on a whole food diet void of junk food. Junk food can be rated on a scale from slightly bad to very bad, but any processed food can be considered junk food. Sugar and fried foods are very bad for you foods. Brown rice and noodles are slightly bad for you foods. So put most of your efforts into keeping your kids away from the worst offenders. But if they have any health conditions like asthma, allergies, chronic ear infections, acne, and so on, then a completely strict whole food diet is a necessary step in the healing of these conditions. Inhalers, medications, and antibiotics don't heal these conditions, they only put out the fire until the next flare-up. Cutting out all junk foods and eating only whole unprocessed foods can often clear up such conditions for good. If you think this is too difficult, then find a support group. There are hundreds of them full of parents in your situation, many of whom have been successful. You can flatten the learning curve by getting or reading the advice of these parents. Many of these groups can be found online. If your kids don't eat a completely whole food, non-processed diet, then they certainly will need to take supplements to make up some of the difference. But even if your kids eat a perfect diet, they will still need the following supplements. 1. Vitamin D. This comes from sunshine close to noon on bare skin without sunscreen or from wild fatty fish. If your kid is eating wild salmon 2x daily or is sunbathing in the nude for 20 to 40 minutes at noon each day, then no vitamin D supplement is needed. Otherwise, in general, here's how much D they need. Age 0 to 2 equals 1000 IU daily. Age 2 to 12 equals 2000 IU daily. Age 13 to 18 equals 4000 IU daily depending on body size. For extra credit, before vaccines should you choose to use them, and during cold and flu season they can take a double dose daily for 7 days to boost the immune system. When taking extra D, give some extra vitamin A with it. If the child is eating mostly whole foods including lots of and a wide variety of greens and veggies, then they get plenty of it from these during the off-season. But when you double the D to boost their immunity, give them vitamin D at 50% the level of D. So for a 4-year-old getting a vaccine next week, increase both his D to 4000 and add in 2000 IU of it for 7 days prior to the vaccine. Or if he is exposed to a friend with a bad flu, do the same thing except do it for 7 days after the exposure. And of course, if your child comes down with the flu, increase to these levels during the course of the bug. Breastfeeding moms, vitamin D typically is not part of human breast milk. But not because it's naturally absent, but because the mom has low levels of vitamin D. Studies show that the mom has to have blood levels around 60 ng/milliliters in order to have enough vitamin D in the breast milk. They also show that unless mom is taking 8000 IU daily of a vitamin D supplement, she won't reach the necessary levels for D to spill over into the milk. I recommend that moms take a minimum of 8000 IU of vitamin D daily throughout the entire pregnancy and nursing years. And, to be completely responsible, she needs to check her blood levels of D twice yearly to make sure that she is in the 60 to 80 ng/milliliters range. 2. Omega-3. This comes from wild fatty fish, some seeds like flax and chia, and certain animal tissues from wild game. So again, no one eats this twice daily. So instead we all need to take an omega-3 supplement for optimal health. The most important time to supplement with this is when we are in the womb and developing through childhood. Age 0 to 2 equals 300 mg. Age 2 to 12 equals 600 mg. Age 12 to 18 equals 900 to 000 depending on body size. Warning: do not take rancid omega-3 oil. Many brands on the market are partially rancid. Taking rancid omega-3 is worse than taking no omega-3. The solution is to make sure you give your kids high-quality omega-3 supplements. In my experience, Nordic Naturals brand is never rancid. You can find these at my office or at most health food stores or even on Amazon.com. The extra credit, omega-3, like vitamin D and A, can be increased for 7 days before or after known immune stressing events like vaccines and illnesses. Vitamin D and help to increase the immune action of the body, while omega-3 helps to keep the immune action from going up too high. Allergies are an example of an immune system that in some ways is overactive. Omega-3 deficiency along with junk food is often the culprit in childhood seasonal allergies. Pregnant and nursing moms, omega-3 is essential for the developing fetus and nursing infant. Moms need to take 2,000 milligrams of omega-3 daily during pregnancy and breastfeeding years to make sure that baby gets enough from mom. 3. Iodine. This is rarely deficient in the American junk food diet simply because salt sold in the U.S. has iodine added to it. But just because you aren't deficient in a nutrient doesn't mean that you have sufficient levels of the nutrient for health and performance. Also, just as you ingest your daily minimum of iodine, doesn't mean that it is doing its job once in the body. There are 3 toxins: bromide, fluoride, and chlorine that interfere with your body to utilize iodine. One or more of these 3 toxins are found in our water, our dental products, and just about anything made from petroleum or plastic in the case of bromide. It's impossible, and in the case of plastics even undesirable, to avoid these toxins completely, so the antidote is to ingest higher amounts of iodine. Iodine cannot build up to toxic levels in the body, so it's difficult to overdose with it. Ages 0 to 2 equals 50 microgram daily. Ages 2 to 12 equals 100 microgram daily. Ages 12 to 18 equals 150 to 300 microgram daily depending on body size. The extra credit, similar to DHA and omega-3, iodine helps the immune system to kill microbes. Iodine by itself is an antiseptic, as you know. Before, during, or after a known immune exposure or event like a vaccine or flu, increase the daily dosage of iodine up to 100 times the doses listed above. The way you can't tell you have dosed them high enough is that their mucus is thinner, even watery. Thick mucus, either in the lungs, sinus, throat, or even stool, is usually a sign of the need for temporary high doses of iodine. Iodine stimulates the mucus thinning enzyme called mucinase. It's the same enzyme that the drug Mucinex stimulates. Iodine works better and usually corrects the cause of the thick mucus in the first place. Thick mucus can also be a result of a dairy sensitivity or dairy allergy. Cutting out the dairy for 2 weeks will correct the thick mucus issue if it is the cause. But if no dairy allergy, then increase iodine intake for overly thick mucus. But don't use the red iodine that you can paint on your skin. This can burn the skin in some kids. and it is not intended to be used orally. Instead, use liquid iodine biotics. I carry this at my office, but sometimes you can find it illegally on Amazon.com. It is a food-grade iodine that is safe and effective for kids and adults, can be used internally or topically. I use it topically for cuts as an antiseptic and for any skin infections like acne or fungus-laden toenails. Yours in health. Dr. Campi Bay area code 559930103 P.S. If you have the time, kindly give us a review in Google Maps. https://goo.gl/73kz2r. Thanks. #Fresno Chiropractor Chiropractor California Chiropractor Fresno Chiropractic Neuro-Emotional Hyperbaric Light Therapy Homeopathy chelation